Welcome to GREEDWATCH2018. My name is Coriander Dickinson. This is a Kamen Rider O's recap podcast. I have with me a trash yummy.
Trash A. Kagan, reporting for duty.
And Adam Wasserman.
Hi, I don't have a funny name today because I couldn't.
I forgot that I was going to lead this in by saying, haha, Kamen Rider O's, part of this great breakfast of steak and corn and ice pops.
Yep. Glad I'm not the only one who noticed that.
It looked very good. It looks like a solid meal.
That is,
like Cowboys
unsustainable.
It's what I understand because you two are Canadian. You don't know a lot about the old American West. That's what our boys ate while they were out there taming the range and eating beans. They also had beans, but mostly ice pops and steak and corn.
Oh, well, I as an American, I must defer to you and your superior knowledge of these things.
Yes, I sure know a lot. You know what I don't know a lot about you two? Well, many things. But I'm learning all kinds of things about the types of greed that there are. When one does a show, when one is categorizing the various types of greed, you start off with the easy ones. There's a fat guy. He liked to eat a lot of food. There was a snivelly little guy. He wanted lots of money. There was a kind of bitchy lady, and she just wanted to shop and have things. These are all stereotypes, but these are all identifiable as greed. I feel like the writer's room, once they went through those three things, like eating food, having stuff, having money, being very successful at travel blogging, and surgery. Terribly, one of the most popular, I believe it's right there in the Bible, of all of the vices that one can have. One of them is just the need to do just tons of surgery. So that's where we are this week.
Where we are this week to start out with is we're at the Couscousier, which is Western themed, as alluded to. And it is problematic because Hina is dressed as a Native American. And it's not
like a 90s
culturally
version.
sensitive. She's basically wearing like a not sexy Pocahontas costume.
It's cute.
Speak for yourself.
It's cute. Like everything.
Oh, sorry.
Hina's just sort of all around cute on the show, and it's a cute outfit. And it's absolutely terrible, but it's it's literally the kind of terrible that people like 5 to 10 years ago were still like completely chill with wearing. Not that Native Americans were thrilled about it, but it was just,
no.
I certainly, and in 2010 Japan, I just don't think the memo had gotten there yet. This is not a defense of that, but it is just sort of like, Look, it could have been worse, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. She could have been in, like, red face, I guess.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, anything's possible. She could have been, I'm not even...
Anyways, Eiji's a cow.
Yes.
Yeah. Also problematic, because it's an appropriation of bovine culture. It's a boviation.
I think it's problematic because a cow is serving steak to people.
You know what I think it is, you two? I think it's problematic.
Oh.
I'm the best. I'm fantastic. Pew, pew, the Wild West, where you eat ice pops.
No, that's Chiako. I'm the best. I'm fantastic. Pew, pew with squirt guns.
Yes. And you give Ankh a hard time, and he is going to murder you probably. And Eiji and Hina just are like, oh, look, he's gonna kill her. I bet
he is seconds away from an aneurysm. He is so infuriated, and he's just sitting there and just smiling harder and harder. And you just hear like in his head like urge to kill rising. But he just sits there with a dumb rictus smile on his face, like he used the Joker shampoo or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
as everyone is just dunking on him and the owner is just squirting him with water pistols and like making fun of his balls. Like that didn't happen, but she might as well have been.
She put a hat on his head, I'll tell you.
Oh, the indignity. Like you almost want him to have like the Sideshow Bob voice. Oh, how much more of this can I stand? Meanwhile, Gotoh, he's just shooting some guns because that's his happy place.
On a motorcycle at targets that are about as non-targety as I think I've ever seen.
The explosions
just like
get them.
little poles. It's like, do you not want maybe some like, I don't know, yummy silhouettes or something?
I don't know. I mean, Gotoh's like an expert marksman, so I think it would be, I don't expect him to be shooting at like old tin cans or whatever. Like he's, he probably is training himself to hit the smallest point possible.
He's also apparently training himself to always put his motorcycle back in vending machine mode when he's done, even if he's in the middle of nowhere. And I can only assume he's going to ride that motorcycle back into town.
Especially after Satanaka comes and dunks on him.
Casual Satanaka.
Big fan of casual Satanaka, everyone.
Oh boy.
Not in a Tex Avery hitting myself over the head with a shoe kind of way. It's just nice to see. It's nice to see her not dressed as like Cher from Clueless Barbie. Like she's just chilling. She's got a trucker hat. I think she's going hunting. Maybe she's got a camo jacket.
Her cool checker accented convertible mini, which reminds me of like, it makes me think that she's driving around in a DC comic from the 70s.
Maybe that's where she's going on vacation.
60s. Anyway, Silver Age is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and she comes in and she's just like, "Hey, guess what, fucko? You're in charge of just being Kugami's dude. It's your job, and goodbye." And he's like,
and she does a cool Kogami impression.
She's had a lot of time to learn his many mannerisms.
Oh yeah.
And then she gets in her car and rides away, and Gotoh's just like, why am I? Also, all of the character development we got from him last week flew away like a little can hawk. It's gone, and now he's just back to being a snit again, and that's too bad.
But you know who else is having a snit?
Who dat?
There's a lady surgeon at a hospital who wants to do surgery, and she's not allowed. Because sexism, I guess.
Or as we call them, by the way, in 2019, surgeons.
Yeah, there's a surgeon having a conflict with another surgeon because that surgeon is about to do surgery.
She's a lady
on
and a surgeon,
the patient of the other surgeon.
She's a lady.
Our listeners cannot see the character. I have to describe her in some way.
Dr. Tamura, lady surgeon.
I just referred to as the doctor throughout my notes, not realizing that now it sounds like a Doctor Who crossover. Oh, this episode's a lot better now.
I called her like Freddy Krueger eventually.
Yeah.
Frida Krueger, the crossplay, coming soon to a con near you. She all she wants to do is just do surgeries, you guys. And Director Heart Attack, who we'll learn is always seconds away from a heart attack later in the episode. He's just like, no, you can't. Bug off. I couldn't tell if it was because of sexism or not.
Well, it's a trope I've seen in other Japanese programs where it's basically part of it is sexism because she's a woman. Part of it is because she is actually really good at it and it's threatening to the other doctors and they probably have seniority. So they probably all group together and like, well, we got to nip this in the bud because she's getting too big for her britches, which is basically just, sexism and whatnot. So it's pretty much that. But it's later on in the episode, one of the nurses says that the nail that sticks out gets hammered down, which is actually a Japanese thing where it's seen as socially problematic if you're too good at something and you show off, quote unquote, too much. So I think that's where that's coming from.
All right. So it's a combination of old fashioned sexism and her just being like real good at what she does and not being afraid to let people know it.
And the result is that she hasn't done surgery for a month.
Yeah, she hasn't done surgery for a month, and she's got like the DTs or something. Like her body seems to be going through cutting withdrawal, and she goes, "Rrr," and then we see who's that sitting in the corner? Why, it's sharp old green jacketed Cazari, and he's like, "Oh yeah!" And then you count the medals, 1, 2, 3. Opening credits.
2 blue, 3 gray, 2 red, 3 green, 4 yellow.
Were the opening credits just normal opening credits, or were they a little different, guys?
There was so much crazy bullshit, and I got real worried because I was like, "Oh no, this episode I'm going to have to like really pay attention hard because it looks like there's a lot of crazy bullshit." And then none of that stuff happened.
Yeah, it seems from the movie that was going to come out shortly, the crossover between O's and Double, the previous season's Kamen Rider, and so it's promoting that.
Oh, I see.
So,
yes.
If you're a child in Japan in this era and you don't want spoilers for the new movie coming out, fuck you.
Basically.
And don't worry, listeners. At the rate we're going, we will be talking about the Kamen Rider 000 movie in 2023. Is that about when we'll be getting to that?
I don't think we're going to do this movie because it requires knowledge of the previous show as well.
I'm not going to make you watch Double. No, you don't have to watch Double.
And I don't want... And Corey is watching Double, and
yes.
I don't want her to have see a bunch of spoilers before she's finished watching it. So I think we can safely skip this one because it doesn't really have any bearing on anything that happens in the show. So it is not required for continuity purposes.
It's a show about a man with a holstered trilby.
I don't want it. I don't want it, and you can send it back. Can I? Please
No, it's very good, but nevertheless,
can I speak to your manager? Ankh's in his bedroom, just having a good old fashioned snit, just really sitting there. He's just mad about a bunch of things. He can't murder anyone, and he's super upset about that. Hina's real strong, and that makes him mad. But mostly he just wants his core medals, and he can't find them, and everybody else is getting core medals.
He feels like less of a man without his core medals, I guess.
It's not.
I mean, he is only an arm, so he is literally less of a man.
It's not the size of your stack of core medals, my friend.
He's like about a sixth of a man, roughly.
It's the way you put them in the ride vendor.
You don't put me putting core medals in the ride vendor. It's like putting in a loonie when you only need a quarter.
Again, I think it would just eat it. I think the machine would just eat it.
Oh, it would totally eat it, and it would probably immediately transform into a motorcycle and self-propel itself back to Kogami Corp to deliver the core medal.
It just spits it out.
Yeah, it would just ride right in and just be like ptooey, right into a cake, possibly.
As opposed to the normal method of inside monster metal people or in a cake.
Hey, also here's some tips for if you see Ankh and he's feeling upset. Don't tell him that he's matured, and don't ask him if Greeds feel stressed, because apparently both of these things make him mental.
I feel like everything makes Ankh angry in this episode. Just literally everything.
I think everything that he's angry about comes back to bite him in the butt in this episode.
And he does not deal with it. He certainly goes a long way in proving AG wrong about calling him mature, because he really we watch him just fall to shit this episode. Poor guy.
So back at the hospital, the surgeon is in a conference with the head of the hospital and the other doctors, and is complaining that she doesn't get to do surgeries. And the head of the hospital is like, well, you have to do what we say. And she's like, no, I want to do surgery. And he's like, fine, then you don't get to do anything. You don't have any. She's like, they're my patients. And he's like, no, they're the hospital's patients. And now they're not even your patients because you don't have any anymore. Ha! I'm in charge.
I mean, to be fair, it seemed like she was running out of patience at the beginning of the episode.
So true. I'm in charge. Does it feel warm in here? I've got this stabbing pain in my right arm.
Dr. Director Heart Attack.
Director Heart Attack, yes.
Fucking Red Fox on Sadford and Son faked less heart attacks than Dr. Director Heart Attack does in this episode.
It's only 4 per episode, at least.
Yeah.
So Dr. Tamuri walks by the steno pool, or the women working in reception, and they're all just gossiping about her, and that's where they say the nail that sticks out gets hammered in. And don't you know it, Cazari, he puts a coin in her head and is like, let's do this.
Yep, just tosses a coin in her forehead.
Yep.
You know what that means? Illicit late night surgery.
Ugh.
This is
Surgery after surgery after surgery.
This is so great. This is the best thing that I have ever seen, and I am in a good mood today, and I thank you too for the gift of making me watch this fucking stupid show, because I don't, in order for a thing to be good for me, in order for a thing to be worthwhile, I just have to see something I've never seen before. And certainly just about every episode of this godforsaken fuck show gives that to me. But this episode especially, I've never seen a manic surgery binge. Just haven't. It just hasn't come up. It hasn't come up. You never see one on Project Runway. It hasn't happened on Mad Men. Nothing. You can't, not YouTube. I've never seen it before. It was truly beautiful, and I laughed and laughed like a maniac and watched it like 3 times in a row. Delightful.
Full moon's out, surgery after dark, cackle like a maniac as you cure hundreds of people.
Yep.
And it's so great because they make it, I mean, obviously it's bad, except she's healing all of these people. And it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm not sure who I'm rooting for. Like, this is very efficient.
Like, she's doing real well.
She's wearing crazy little brain glasses so you can like look real close at veins and whatever. And it's fantastic. Yeah. It's just great.
And because she's scratching that surgery itch, it's generating cell metals with her parasite Yummy. And so
oh, man.
Ankh, who's lounging on his fabric piece, is just like, Yummy senses tingling over here. And he runs off.
Yes.
Well, he yanks AG out of bed and then runs off, and AG's like following behind trying to put on some pants.
Yep.
Well, that's like, it cuts to a surgery lady who is doing surgery a lot and cackling, and she pulls off her mask at the end of some surgery, maybe before her next surgery, and there's like those bandages just to show like, yeah, she's infected.
Yep. And by the time between them waking up and running outside, it has gone from the dead of night to like just like 10 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't be a more lovely day out, considering it seemed to be as late as an evening has ever been before. But no matter. And we throw to the peach pit. Oh, no, we don't throw to the peach pit. No. My mistake, everybody. Don't freak out. We throw to Maki's stupid little office.
And we find out what Cazari's and Maki's deal together is, which is that Cazari's basically got Maki to agree to a trickle-down economy on cell metals, whereby he makes cell metals, then the cell metals go to Kogami once the Yummies are defeated, and then Kogami gives them to Maki. So really, win-win.
More importantly, Maki has made like a stack of medals on his desk. And he's making his little doll wave at them. And then he puts his doll in his little chair and kind of scoots it around a bit.
And he's also made some kind of mysterious device.
I'm no expert, you two, but I think it's some kind of metal thingamajig.
Correct.
Well done.
I did it.
And maybe it would allow a human to harness the power of cell metals.
Or agreed. Metals. Or agreed, maybe.
Or agreed, I suppose. But greed can already use core metals. So
well, then maybe I'm confused, because doesn't Maki say something along the lines of, what will I do with all of these metals? Will I give them to Kamen Rider 000? Will I give them to Agreed?
It's who's more able to gather the metals.
Oh, I see.
Is the question he asks.
All right.
Anyways, Ankh and AG are ambushed by the worst Yummies in the world. They just kind of flop onto the road and kind of try to stand, and they suck.
They are literally referred to in the subtitles as trash Yummies, and I love that so much. In the Wikipedia entry for this episode, they were also referred to as waste Yummies, which I will also accept. They are a cross between John Lovitz's annoying man character from mid-80s Saturday Night Live and the battle droids from the Star Wars prequels. They are both, they just flop around, and I don't even know why he has to transform to defeat them. It seems like these motherfuckers could be taken out with a brisk sneeze and a fly swatter.
It does, except every time he like punches or kicks one of them, it just pops back up like one of those inflatable punching clowns.
How do you even make them? Like, using the specious fucking logic of this crazy ass show, like, to make a yummy, you got to put a coin in a greedy person's head, and then some shit happens. So a trash yummy is just made by what?
We don't know yet, but after Ankh tricks AG into electrocuting himself,
Yes.
we see a bunch of half metals, like they're cell metals that are like cut in half, fall instead of the normal full ones.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even get like a single like cell metal for your trouble. You get nothing.
Yeah.
You're just problems.
It just wasted your time. And I assume, and it doesn't waste too much of their time in this episode, but I have to assume that in the future, these will be used as some sort of roadblock or time waster, so actual evil can happen.
Well, here's the thing is that on a show like this, sometimes you need some cannon fodder enemies, like, you know, some Foot Clan robots that you can beat up before you beat up the regular guy. Just, you know, to pad things out. That's what they're for.
An amuse-bouche.
Yeah. A little aperitif.
How continental. And now we're on to the Peach Pit.
Yeah, Uva picks up like one of the half metals, and there's this cool fabric swooshy transition.
Yeah.
And now Mazul is creepily feeding Gamel from a tub of snacks.
Like a mama bird.
Bleh.
Except she's like an orca, so it's weird.
It's real. Their relationship is icky.
Oh, I don't know. They're fine.
That's how I feel.
They're fine.
I feel like it's icky. It's upsetting every time I see it.
They're all creepy monsters, so any interaction they're going to have is going to be icky. But look, but what we learn in this episode is, or in this scene, is that it's time that the Greed, you know, there comes a time in a Greed's life where they just have to grow up and be modern monsters and and really begin to take things seriously. You know, unlike Ankh, these guys are not afraid of maturity. And that's why they made trash yummies or something.
It sounds like Uva made them as an experiment.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Gamel's just happily snacking.
Yeah, he likes candy. Oh, and I did take the note.
I don't think it was candy. I thought savory snacks.
It was a mixed bag. It was all sorts of stuff.
It looked like them sour belts. That's what I thought he was eating. One of them sour belts.
But he had a cracker too.
Thought he had a pepperoni.
Yeah,
it could be all
these things. His snacks are so hodgepodge that I half the time am not sure if if they're even actual snacks and not just stuff he found in the road.
Just molding and just the fender of a car and just whatever. Look, he's a hungry boy. He don't have the metals he needs, so he's got to look. Sometimes he's just got to eat garbage. He's like a goat. He's like a goat Greed.
They are homeless and living in an abandoned club.
I mean it's a nice place, and they fixed it up, and they've got a lot of fabric.
Yeah, they smashed all the bottles that were there and stacked some of the chairs.
Yeah.
But cell metals don't pay the bills, guys.
I would watch their home makeover show. This week we are going to stack some chairs and break some bottles. And then I'm going to lay down and take a candy nap.
Wait. We gotta hang the different colored swatches of fabric. Don't forget.
Okay, you can only stand in your area. I'm marking that with tape on the floor.
Disimprove property value.
You're over there now.
And then they flip the house by picking it up and actually flipping it. Smashing
They
it.
would.
They would. They're Greed. They're not called the smarts. They're called the Greeds. We go to the hospital, and surgery mania has swept Japan. Japan's hottest new club is Hospital. It's got everything. Late night surgeries, bland foods, and sticking out nails. You know, that thing where you hammer them back in.
I'm just trying to think of the timeline on this. So overnight, she did a lot of surgery, and somehow in the intervening between midnight and 10 in the afternoon, people somehow found out about this 10 in the morning and have mobbed the hospital.
Haven't you heard? All the surgery is being done here. They're at capacity.
Her social media presence must be really on point.
Here's the thing about this. Regardless of whether or not the surgeries were successful, I mean, it's great that the surgeries were successful, thank heavens, but I kind of feel like it's time for somebody to go to jail.
No.
It's not illegal for a surgeon to do surgeries, Josh. That's crazy.
In a hospital on their own patients.
Hospital.
Or rather, it's all of the hospital's patients.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she's doing them all on her own. They are unsupervised. I don't know if she's watching between each
I think there would have to be like an investigation by the medical, practitioners association of Japan or whatever. What we do see is that the doctors who work at the hospital are very concerned by all of this, but they don't really know what to do about it.
Yeah. But there is a legit crowd of people who are just like, me next. Come on, let me in. It's
the surgery on me.
Yeah, me next. All these
dying.
people.
Please save me. I mean, I have a lot of energy to be in this mob, but still.
That's a really good point, Adam. If all these people need surgery so bad, how are they standing up and arguing? But Ankh and Edgy show up, and Ankh's just like, I've been in this hospital before because I got these old memories in my head. So
nice.
Problem solved there. We throw to a meeting of the doctors, and everyone's very confused. Not confused enough to say, oh, a surgeon has gone rogue. This is an insurance nightmare, and she has to go to jail. No. They're just like, I don't know. Everybody's real happy, and she's fixing everyone. And what are we going to do?
It's not fair. We told her to stop. And
Director Heart Attack clutches his chest.
Like, that brisket's not sitting right or something. I don't know.
I don't feel so good.
Oh, well.
Meanwhile, Gotoh's just hanging out on his motorcycle, looking all foxy and whiny. And one of his little magic robot crickets comes up to him and is like, hey, it's all going down at the hospital. So he goes to the hospital.
Although before that, this surgeon is talking to a nurse, and she's basically like, I'm doing all the surgeries from now on. I don't care what anybody says. I'm doing them all. Just me.
Yeah.
Ha-cha-cha. I'm magic.
Yeah. Well, again, absolutely nothing we can do to stop that besides just like tackling you, saying no, and calling the police, putting you in a fucking straitjacket, you insane person who may very well yet become Earth's most greatest murderer, because this just bums me out. At the very least, this hospital is opening late.
Well,
but forget all that, folks.
Okay.
Because now the most important thing in this episode happens. Now, I'm going to admit, I was getting a little like, Kogami, like, you're not making any cakes. Why am I even doing Cake Watch? But my patience has been rewarded, folks, because Kogami has an assistant who is not Gotoh, some rando, and that rando has in front of him 10 cakes, which he is going to have to eat, which puts Cake Watch at 16 from 6.
It's a big week for you, man.
I was so excited. And they're all different kinds of cakes. They look really nice.
Yeah. I don't understand why Gotoh found literally the dumbest person at Kugami. Like, this guy barely looks like he can put a shirt on without cutting a thumb. Like, he's just like, me like cake. Nom, 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 nom. And Kugami's none too happy about this.
The responsibilities of Kogami's assistant appear to be showing up places, holding a TV with Kogami on it, listening to Kogami rant about things, and eating cake. So it's not a real demanding position.
Kogami might sing Happy Birthday on the piano.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know why this guy doesn't have to wear a short little chiffon number. Like, I feel like...
He's got the ride vendor
thing.
rider outfit.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to talk about uniforms, because he is dressed like Gotoh.
Yeah.
But he's not as cool.
I feel like he's a new hire because they're finally starting to replace all the ride vendor dudes who got murdered in the first episode.
Oh, that's right. So many people were murdered in that first episode. That was great.
It might be his first day. It might literally be like, it's his first day, and Gotoh's like, guess what you get to do on your first day? Eat cake and listen to Kogami and maybe carry around a TV.
Me like cake, me dumb.
I'm like, I like cake. I could do this. And then he comes up there's like freaking 10 cakes that he's expected to work his way through.
Wait, is that really what's required? I thought he was just eating that cake because he was mad dumb.
Oh, absolutely not. being Kogami's assistant requires that you eat the cakes that he
Yes.
puts in front of you.
All right.
That's what Gotoh is avoiding. That's why Gotoh reacted negatively when Satonaka was like, "You have to deal with Kogami because Kogami said." And Gotoh is like, "But we should be fighting the greed."
Yeah.
Instead of eating cake all day.
I'll send my buddy Goturd, the dumb guy. Hey, go on,
Good.
Goturd.
Yes.
Jeez. Poor guy.
Okay, we're back at the hospital, and because the detective came in for an appendix removal at some point, they get shortlisted across the barrier that is the doorway.
Right.
Yep.
And Ankh is finally in disguise. He's wearing a costume. He's all bandaged up.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, on any other show, I'd say he looks like a mummy, but
ooh. Yeah, no, he looks like in a cartoon if somebody's just been in a fight. And like the smoke cloud clears and his head's wrapped up and he's got 2 casts on and it's just delightful. And by the way, if you thought he was seething with anger at the beginning of the episode, he is fit to be motherfucking tied. He is none too happy.
But you know who
He's
is
also,
happy?
like-
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, he's also mostly a prop in this scene because
Yeah.
AG has sent an eel can to try to find the Yummy, and Hina had to bring the records of hospital stay from Detective. So she's here. AG's got some other place to be.
They've got she
just,
and
like,
AG have a
glaring
little
at
like,
kids.
oh, I'm happy to be here. Tee. Little flirty.
She's happy to be on an adventure.
Yeah. And AG's happy that Uma-chan, the eel can, is being helpful.
Yep. Everyone's
Ankh
happy.
is unhappy.
No, not very happy.
So he is staring daggers at a small child.
Hina does not like that, so she fucking delightfully picks him up and scoots him away. Doesn't scoot him in a wheelchair, like does not use the wheels. Literally lifts him off the ground and just Benny Hills his shit right out of there. It's
Thus demonstrating her mutant strength, which was one of his issues, one of his many issues.
Boy, it's all.
Although surely just like wheeling the wheelchair would have been easier.
Nope.
Surely.
You got to lift it right up. You got to lift it up at an oblique 90-degree angle. That would be literally no matter how strong you are.
No time to push.
Yeah.
We got to go now.
No matter how strong you are, I think that would be literally impossible. Like there is no way for that to happen. That finally the show's cracks are beginning to show. That I think there might be some flaws in the show's logic.
I was thinking really hard about super strength yesterday because I was watching Venom, and there's like a part where he just like sort of like falls through a chain link fence, and I'm like, okay, even if you were like super strong, you're not going to just like fall against a chain link fence and it's going to like bend for you. It doesn't. And then I realized super strength doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
I'm 42 years old and I just figured that out.
Then what happens? All right.
The director heart attack is
yes.
confronting our famous genius surgeon outside the surgery room to stop her from doing any surgery. As far as he sees it, you will never hold a scalpel again. But as far as she sees it, everyone's just jealous of her like super awesome surgery.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to do surgery. I'll do surgery on you. Scalpel fingers.
Oh.
I don't think she even knows that he's having heart problems.
No, she's just got a knife hand.
She's just going to do some kind of surgery on him.
It's beautiful. It's so great. And it's just legitimately a Freddy Krueger hand. And it made me so happy. So happy. I don't even have a joke. It's just like the show. This episode is another goddamn delight. She doesn't get to use it though, and I was very sad.
Aw.
Yeah, because stupid interfering AG, the Ilkan, has led him down the corridors and brought him here in time to interfere with the ongoing plot. And then, I guess, distract her? Like,
jump like 2 stories down.
He must have ankles of steel.
He kind of shakes it off a little, but still.
Yeah.
Oof. And then Ankh is sitting there staring, and Hina's like, "What's going on?" And it turns out Gotoh is also in effectively the same disguise, only with crutches instead of a wheelchair.
Yep.
And then they have what I can only describe as a cripple fight.
Well, let's find better words.
Okay.
That's exactly it. Is sadlarious. They're both have like big fake casts on their legs. They both have. It doesn't occur to either of them like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take this shit off first. No, they just sort of waddle and wobble towards each other. And
it's very dumb. It's just like,
it's so sad.
Ankh's like, you're wearing a stupid disguise to sneak in here, and Gotoh's like, ha, I'm not the only one. And then Ankh goes to punch him, but Hina grabs his arm, which doesn't stop the glove hand of Ankh's actual body, I guess.
No, if anything,
go forward and strike Gotoh.
Yeah, if anything, she grabs his arm in the exact wrong place, pulling it back, giving the arm even more baboing trajectory to go flying off.
Baboing is right. This was full of comedy sound effects.
And then he punches Gotoh in the face and then goes flying off. And now Detective is in. Now he got worry. There's a lot of problems.
You know what I have a problem with?
What at?
I have a problem with this Yummy.
Well, the Yummy's not out yet.
Well, I have a problem with Yummy that is about to appear. Edgy's going after scalpel fingers and grabs her, and then her Yummy pops out. And
it's a cat lady.
It is not just a cat lady. It's a cat lady in sexy underwear.
Is it?
And this is a show for tiny baby children. And
she looks like she's wearing jorts, like cut off jorts.
She's wearing like a bustier.
She is definitely wearing a bustier.
Fishnet stockings with garters. And I don't know, man.
Counterpoint. Fucking A. This is great. This is a great Yummy. This is fantastic.
I can only assume that this show is responsible for a lot of weird sexual awakenings.
Okay, that's correct. That's a good take.
Yeah, that's a solid take.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
Between the owner of the couscousier and this shit.
Okay, she started the episode by running at the camera while like giggling madly and squirting handguns. Well, I was thinking, I don't know.
And now that's
I was thinking more of like her strict teacher, but I still can't get over that. Maybe that's just me.
Let's settle all of this right now. The cat Yummy is still like gray and plastic bodied and more polyurethane than anything else. And while true, they are wearing something that one might see a attendee of a Motley Crue show wearing in 1985. I'll go ahead and say that I found it to not have any sexuality whatsoever. Like it just looked like a goofy costume.
I mean, I feel like it's sexier than the usual monster of the week in that
it's sexier than the other cat.
Than the previous cat.
It is definitely sexier than the other cat. It's as
right. Wait a second. Kazaris are always cats.
Yeah.
Because he's a cat. Oh, I just got that.
But it's almost as if there was like one gross guy in the writer's room who's just like, hey, remember when we had that real fat gross cat? Well, maybe we need like a different kind of cat or something. Wink.
Like a sexy cat with knives.
Yeah. Like,
knives for hands.
Sexy knife cat. Oh, from Scott Pilgrim, she's Knives Meow.
Oh.
I'm great. Okay, let's keep going.
So anyway, Ankh shows up. Yeah, tosses Angie some medals, which she catches in the most preposterous manner possible, like a magic trick. Like two of them between like his outstretched fingers, and then like one like between a finger and thumb, and it's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, nobody needs to catch medals like that.
Preposterous.
No human can catch medals like that.
That's right.
And then they fight and they fight and they fight and they fight.
Yeah, he tries claws v claws for a while, and then he's like, hey, remember that combo I used that was really, like, harmful to me? Let's do that with the gray metals.
Yep.
Well, they roll down a hill for a while, too, don't they?
As you wish.
Yeah, they do. An embankment is there.
Which is like foreshadowing, as it turns out.
Yeah,
it's time for Sagozo.
Yeah. And AG's doing great. He's it looks like he's gonna win, but then wandering around Dr. Tamura falls down, and Wesley's and Buttercups her way down the hill. And just the timing on it is just chef's kiss. She rolls basically right as the sexy cat Yummy is about to get her sexy clock sexily cleaned. Dr. Night surgery rolls right into her, and poof, kabam, they are as one again.
And AG has to stop what he's doing, otherwise he would hurt an innocent human being who just wants to do surgery on everybody.
Yeah, he's like, Ankh, you gotta go back. You gotta go back for that detective, because you're way over here and I don't see anyone else.
And Ankh's like, you know what? Fuck everything.
Yeah.
I'm out.
He boards the 10 a.m. bus to fuck Youville. He is gone. And then we go back to the hospital where everybody's standing around detective, and we get some like generic medical show like, don't you die on me, clear his airways. Like they're like,
send him to the ICU.
Yeah, I just wanted one doctor to be like, oh, it's almost as if he's been near death for the last 2 months or whatever. Like he
was in a car accident like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, if it were me and I was a nearly dead detective possessed by a supernatural arm that decided to fuck off and leave me to die, I would hope that it would happen while I was already in a hospital, because that's optimal.
Especially the hospital that took my appendix out. Like,
right?
hot dang.
Because you know that they do good work.
Best case scenario.
And they've got the best surgeon, apparently. She'll have him up in a jiff.
And then the end.
Yep.
The end.
Problem solved.
Yeah. We'll figure it out next week. I like it. I like this crazy show, you guys. I know sometimes I pretend not to. And that's mostly because I never feel like doing this, but then I watch the show and I'm like, oh, okay. This is appropriately insane. Thank you.
I never feel like watching it the second time and doing notes. That's the part I don't feel like doing. But I've
been doing this for like 3 years, and so it's just kind of part of my week.
It's part of a well-balanced breakfast, along with steak and ice pops and corn. Play us out, Corey.
Thank you all for listening. My name is Corina Dickinson. You can find me on Twitter at Epsilar.
I'm Josh A. Kagan, and you can find me on Instagram at Josh A. Kagan.
I'm Adam Wasserman. You can find me on Twitter at Cold Sarcasmium.
Which is hysterical.
And?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
You gave up on Mastodon so fast?
I haven't mentioned Mastodon since like episode 2.
I'm still editing those.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go back.
Also, fun fact, if you make Josh say his name backwards, he has to go back to his home dimension.
Goodbye!